Hello students, in my previous lecture I did the explanation of the themes of the poem. So today we are going to look upon the rhyme scheme and what are the literary figures or the literary devices used in this poem. Okay, as well as we will look upon the conclusion of the poem. So coming straight to the point, this poem consists of 3 stanzas which contains 4 lines each. The poem is a rhyming poem and having a rhyme scheme of A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F. Okay, you can see it in your screen. The rhyming scheme of the poem is A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F. Okay, just look on your screen. Then we come to the literary devices that have been used in this particular poem. In the first stanza, firstly we come across a metaphor. What is the metaphor in it? Use of topaz to describe the yellow color of the tiger, which is being compared to the bright topaz stone or the bright topaz gem. Okay, so the yellow colors of the tigers is compared to the bright topaz stone. Okay, in second stanza we can find alliteration. Okay, alliteration in which F sound is repeated. Okay, you can see that in second stanza there is a repetition of F sound in finger fluttering. Okay, finger F fluttering again F. Okay, so next we come to the third stanza. We again can see there is an alliteration present over there also. P is repeated in the third stanza. Sound P is repeated in the third stanza. Prancing proud. Okay, prancing proud. P, prancing proud P. Okay, again the sound is repeated in the third stanza. So in this poem, though as it is a very small poem, we don't find much literary devices in it. We only just find metaphor, one metaphor and 2 alliteration. We only find one metaphor from the first stanza and 2 alliteration we can find in second and third stanza respectively. Okay, now the final topic, that is we just come to the final topic, that is a conclusion of the poem. Okay, conclusion of the poem. By conclusion you can all know it very well that it is the last part of this poem, Aunt Jennifer Tiger, because today I am going to conclude the whole poem, and on my next video lecture I'll be continuing a new poem. Okay, so conclusion of the poem is very necessary, so that in each and every answers in the last you can conclude your answers with this. Though it's too big, you can make it short. When I will just be providing you this kind of notes, it will be very helpful for you all. Okay, so the poem concludes by saying that the poet's art, is Adrienne Rich. The poet, she gives emphasis on artwork of Aunt Jennifer. Okay, the aunt's artwork will live on after her death as a reminder of her dreams she never achieved. Okay, she was willing that she want to be brave, she want to be fearless, but she can't achieve that. Okay, after her death it will be a kind of a reminder to the audience or the readers. Aunt Jennifer reveals her dreams of a happier life in her needlework. Okay, Aunt Jennifer has given a kind of a example or kind of a message that she want to convey, that she wanted a happier life. She wanted to live happy in her life, but she can't because she was very much suppressed by the society as well as her husband. Okay, in the course of the poem, the relative Aunt Jennifer makes a panel with the image of tigers moving proudly across the cloth panel. Okay, Aunt Jennifer, as in my last video lecture I told you, her Aunt Jennifer, maybe her niece is Adrienne Rich, so that is why Adrienne Rich is referring the lady as aunt. Maybe Really rich is Aunt Jennifer nice? We're not sure about it. Okay. Aunt Jennifer paints a confident, proud tigers, and the image of the tigers moving proudly across it symbolizes the bravery and fearlessness of the king of the forest. Okay. So denizens suggest independent citizens. Denizens in the poem, you can see the word denizens. You came across that word. It means that independent citizens. Okay. It would seem that Aunt Jennifer is not an independent in her life in her own world due to her dominant husband. She is instead a wife weighed down upon duties as we learn in the entire poem. Jennifer uses sharp and contrasting color, and that is also acting as a metaphor, the sharp yellow against a green background. Her tigers are as bright as topaz, a yellow gem. As I told you, she has compared her tiger, the yellow color of the tigers is been compared to the bright yellow stone known as topaz. Okay. Though the proud tigers don't fear the men, but Aunt Jennifer, who is very fearful towards her husband, she is very frightened by her husband, and this brings out the contrasting character between the Aunt Jennifer and her tigers, the opposite character between the Aunt Jennifer and her tiger. Thus the artwork is unrealistic. Why it is unrealistic? Because the actual character, the actual personality of Aunt Jennifer is not revealed in her art. Okay, as she is very fearful, as she is very terrified by her husband, but she is making an animal which is very brave, which is very fearless. Okay, the actual personality and her actual characters is not revealed in her art, and that is the only reason the poet is referring the art as unrealistic. Okay, perhaps the poet feels it a pointless and empty type of art. Okay, why it is a pointless and empty type of art? Because it is a kind of unrealistic thing, and the actual character of Aunt Jennifer is not revealed in her art. She is just depicting a kind of contrasting nature, contrasting characters, and that's why the poet has told the readers, has told the audience that the aunt is presenting a kind of contrasting nature, a contrasting personalities. Okay, the contrasting nature which is bringing out between the aunt and the tigers. She is just depicting a opposite character, that of her tigers. Okay. The poet humorously suggests that Aunt Jennifer's fingers find it hard to hold the weight of her wedding ring and then put the needle at the same time. Okay, because she was very old at that time. Aunt Jennifer was very old at that time, and she was finding it hard to pull the ivory needle. Okay, and she was also burdened with all the work and with all the responsibilities in her married life. Okay, that was also the reason that her hand was very weak. Okay, and the wedding ring was very heavy on her hand. It was feeling a kind of very pressure. She was feeling a kind of a pressure on her hand. Okay, and the wedding ring was put by her husband on her fingers. It was though it was very light in weight, then also she was feeling very heavy, because the unsuccessful marriage had created a kind of burden on her life. Okay, the poet suggests that uncle owns Jennifer too, and that as a female she is the property of her husband. Okay, in that was the old time, as you all know, and in that time women were referred as a property of men. In nowadays somewhere it is been also referred, okay, that women is known as a property of men. Okay, she don't have a kind of her independent, she is not independent. Okay, she is not having any kind of freedom. She don't have a kind of a freedom in her life. The words massive and heavily put forward that Aunt Jennifer lives a demanding sort of life in which she has to attend to her husband's needs. Okay, so in which in her life, in Aunt Jennifer's life, she has to fulfill the demands of her husband. She is living in that type of life which is very much pressurized by her husband. Okay, and in this life she only have to fulfill her husband's dream. Her dreams had always been sacrificed by her. Okay, because in this patriarchal society she don't have any kind of importance. The society doesn't feel any kind of importance, any kind of importance that her dream can get. Okay, so in short, जो आन जेनिफर है वो अपने ड्रीम्स को छोड़ती है, सैक्रिफाइस करती है अपने हस्बैंड को ड्रीम्स को फुलफिल करने के लिए. शी ऑलवेज फुलफिल्स हर हस्बैंड ड्रीम and she always sacrifices her own dream because the society as well as her husband don't pay much importance to her dreams, to her Aunt Jennifer's dreams. Okay, as a result she is somewhat wiped out in her old age, and due to this also she's been very old. Then also she has been wiped out in her old age. She has been very weak. She has been very lethargic in her old age due to all these troubles and all this trauma in her life. In this poem, the poet concludes by predicting that when Aunt Jennifer will die, her hands will look worn from all her needlework, as well as the hard time she was trying to make her husband happy. She always made her husband happy. She was always trying to make her husband happy, but her husband was not at all satisfied with her. Okay, the more and more she was trying to make her husband happy, he was not at all satisfied with Aunt Jennifer. Okay, Aunt Jennifer is ring trapped in her unsuccessful marriage, we must say, and controlled like an animal. She is controlled like a pet animal. Okay, her husband is her master. So the husband of Aunt Jennifer is a master. She is controlled as a kind of animal. Okay, and it seems that a master is controlling an animal. Okay, she is treated as animal. She is not given much more importance in her life. Okay, her dreams has been sacrificed. Okay, in fact her husband also don't give much importance to Aunt Jennifer's dreams, and that is the reason she was in a kind of traumatic situation. She was very weak in that time. In that moment she was feeling very weak. She was lethargic, and though she was a bit old, then also she was fully weak in nature because the trauma, the the humiliation has put her down. Okay, put her down, and she was very much depressed in her life. Okay, so student, by this we come to the end of this poem. Conclusion means it's the end of the poem. Okay, so each and every aspects and topics has been discussed with you all. Okay, from this poem I most probably discuss each and every topics. Okay, each and every possible topics I had discussed. I just hoping that soon the college situation gets well, and I just wanted to give you all the notes. Okay, because if my syllabus is only 2 chapters are left in from the prose section, only 2 poems are left after the completion of the 2 poetry. What I am thinking that if the situation will get better, then it's okay, then I will be giving you the offline notes. Okay, but if the situation still stays the same, then I have to give you the online notes only. Okay, so just don't panic students that ma'am is only explaining the chapters and not giving any kind of notes. So not at all panic. Don't panic at all. If after the completion of the 2 chapters, if I'll see the situation that college is not going to open, okay, yeah, college is not going to open soon, then I will surely give you the online notes, okay, online questions or online notes. Don't worry at all, okay. I was also thinking that each and every class I'm coming and explaining the poems, each and every topics to you all, and it's been a high time that I didn't provided you all notes, okay. And notes is also very important in literature, so don't panic students, just be calm, okay. After the completion of 2 chapters, I'm just waiting that if I'm going to complete my 2 chapters, and after soon if the college will open, then it will be okay for us, for you also, for me also. Then I will be providing you the offline notes. If then also the college will not open, then keep faith in me, I will provide you the online notes for sure, okay. But just let me complete the 2 chapters, okay, so that after completion of the 2 chapters, I think 2 chapters are left. I think my mother at 66 and slum school something something class, a classroom in the slum, that is left, okay. It's a long, the name of the poem is too long, okay. So these, after the completion of these 2 poems, if the situation will not get better, if we have to continue online classes, I will surely provide you the online notes, okay. So don't worry at all, I just wanted to share with you all, that's why I just told you, okay. So just revise these chapters well. So we'll catch you all in my next lecture with a short introduction of another new poem. What poem I will do? I think I will be doing My Mother at 66. Okay. It is again a very short poem. Okay, and a very interesting poem too. So next class I will be doing My Mother at 66 and give you a kind of a short introduction as I used to give it in the starting of the poem. Okay. So share and subscribe my channel. Bye bye. Take care.